I'm Brenda Whitson with Visit Johnson City. We just want to thank you for coming today. Thank you for coming to our beautiful, immersive visitor center. And some of you heard the jingle, but we'll play it again. This was written by Chris Tolson of Bill and the Bells as a tribute for Dr. Enuf a couple of years ago. And when I talked to Chris, they were unable to be here today, but we wanted to share that with you, and we'll share it with you just a little bit later as well. When Visit Johnson City was asked to support the 75th anniversary celebration of Tri-City Beverage and Dr. Enuf, we were honored to help. We have been promoting Dr. Enuf in the tourism business for over 14 years. Every bag that we put together, every gift bag for every person coming in as a dignitary, a visitor, or somebody we're trying to lure here, they always get a Dr. Enuf in there along with the tag that describes the story of Dr. Enuf and how it began with Chuck Gordon's father. The other part that we have always been doing too is the Department of Tourism has supported and recognized Dr. Enuf as a gem, a true gem for this region. So therefore, it is located on the Sunnyside Trail, which is one of 16 trails and byways that the Tennessee Department of Tourism has, and it's in their brochure and on the website. So tourism and Dr. Enuf go a long way, as does the Tennessee Department of Agriculture and their Pick Tennessee products. So Tennessee and visitors are synonymous with Dr. Enuf. And having said that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce from the state of Tennessee our representative, Representative Tim Hicks.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure. The state of Tennessee, you know, we love small businesses. We love new businesses in the state of Tennessee. And I think what Dr. Enuf does and has done over the last few years, for 75 years, it speaks highly of what Tennessee is all about. You bring something that is unique. You bring something that is a little different. You bring something that people love all the way across this state, and we truly, truly appreciate everything that you've done. We did a proclamation. Representative Alexander had it drawn up, and if you don't mind, is it okay? I'll go ahead and read this proclamation. It's a little long, so you'll have to bear with me, but we'll get through it.
You're in the air conditioning.
That's right. Better than outside. Whereas it is fitting that we recognize and commend those exemplary businesses and products that through a abiding commitment to excellence have contributed greatly to the state for many years. And whereas one such acclaimed product is Dr. Enuf, which will commemorate 75 years of business success and cultural impact throughout East Tennessee with a celebration on June 27th, 2024, designated as Dr. Enuf Day in Johnson City. And whereas an American brand of soft drink, Dr. Enuf, is lemon lime flavored and contains several water-soluble vitamins, caffeines, and cane sugar. It was originally proposed as an alternate to sugar sodas, and whereas marketed as the original energy booster, Dr. Enuf's unique health benefits and distinctive taste has fostered a dedicated following among customers in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Western North Carolina. And whereas Dr. Enuf is bottled and distributed by Tri-Cities Beverage in Johnson City. Tri-Cities Beverage has 32 employees and a delivery area of approximately 120 miles. In addition to deliveries made to Cracker Barrel restaurants nationwide. And whereas founded in 1946 by Charles O. Gordon, Tip Bottling Company became Tri-Cities Beverage Corporation in 1947. And by 1949, Tri-Cities Beverage was bottling Dr. Enuf, a vitamin-fortified drink that quickly gained local popularity. And whereas Mr. Gordon Initiative marketing strategies included front page advertisements and back-folded newspapers that helped Dr. Enuf stand out in the crowded market. And whereas the regional staple and local favorite Dr. Enuf marketing slogan is "Enough is enough," and has garnered a reputation for its famous yet distinctive taste. And whereas Dr. Enuf has also been a significant contributor to Northeast Tennessee communities by supporting area schools, the Johnson City Little League, and the Covered Bridge celebration. And whereas Dr. Enuf is notably the prime sponsor for the Boones Creek Opry, which endeavors to preserve Appalachian music culture by showcasing musicians from all over the region. And whereas Dr. Enuf brand has operated and devotedly served customers for 75 years, and we find it appropriate to acknowledge and applaud this outstanding business for its ongoing commitment to excellence. Now therefore, I, Cameron Sexton, Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 113th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, at the request and in conjunction with Representative Rebecca Alexander, do hereby proclaim that we honor and congratulate Dr. Enuf on the celebration of its 75th anniversary, wishing the iconic Tennessee product much continued success in the future. And this was signed by Speaker Sexton. It was signed by Randy McNally, the Senate Speaker, Representative Alexander, Representative Tim Hicks, I signed it, and Senator Rusty Crowe signed it. And so we really, as a state, we appreciate what you've done. And just for my own comments on Dr. Enuf, every time that I go to Nashville, every single week, I take Dr. Enuf with me. I drink 2 of these a day. I drink the 10-ounce bottles, and it quenches your thirst. And if you don't think that it does not quench your thirst, just come out to my job sites and see how many empty bottles that I have to pick up every day where people drinks them and then leaves them sitting around. But we really appreciate what you do and what you've done for the area. So thank you so much for your commitment to Northeast Tennessee. And it's an honor to present this proclamation to you to hang up. So we really appreciate you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
I also want to recognize Patty Woodby, Mayor in Elizabeth and Carter County, for being here today as well. Last night at the Washington County Commission, they read and approved a proclamation from Washington County. And now County Mayor Joe Grandy would like to read that proclamation and present it to the Boltons again, to the Gordons again, not the Boltons, and for all of you to hear how beloved everyone feels about Tri-City Beverage and Dr. Enuf.
So normally I get to read the proclamations for the commission meeting, but last night I was in a parking lot in Nashville that some of us refer to as Interstate 40, and so we had a short meeting and the boards were there. And I really was disappointed because these folks are some of my favorite people. One of the first people that I was introduced to when I came to Washington County 40-some years ago, and they're just such great community citizens. Just want to thank you. And as I travel across the state, generally, and see my counterparts in other counties and so forth, a lot of counties have things that they talk about that they do. Chattanooga has their moon pies and the M&Ms, but we have a very unique beverage, Dr. Enuf, and it's known statewide. Representative Hicks, the energy that he has to do what he does comes from Dr. Enuf. So they're always glad to see us in Nashville because everybody carries a case of Dr. Enuf when they go. So this was a little bit of a rerun from last night, but I don't think we can proclamate y'all too much. So if you'll indulge some of this information. This is declaring June 27th, the Dr. Enuf Day. And whereas in 1946, after Charles Gordon returned to the United States as a decorated Army Air Corps officer, he founded Tip Bottling, which in 1947 became Tri-City Beverage Corporation. And whereas in 1949, Tri-City Beverage began bottling Dr. Enuf and Gordon, recalling the wide open space of a Quonset hut in the military settings, constructed one on West Walnut Street, right here in Johnson City, to grow the business. And whereas Gordon's innovative marketing strategies, such as the front page ads and back-folded newspapers, helped Dr. Enuf stand out in a crowded marketplace. Originally formulated to bottle a cure for lethargy, to replenish the nutrients lost in a hard day's work, and promoted as the original energy booster, Dr. Enuf's unique health benefits and distinctive taste fostered a dedicated following. And whereas Tri-City Beverage Corporation, which still operates as a family-owned business, currently has a delivery area of approximately 120 miles and can fill as many as 5,000 cases of the beverage in a single day, keeping the 32 Tri-City Beverage employees right here in Johnson City busy. And whereas now available in Cracker Barrel restaurants nationwide, Dr. Enuf continues to support its local roots while making a significant contribution to the identity in the region by sponsoring Boones Creek Historical Trust and Opera, preserving and perpetuating 265 years of Appalachian music culture. And whereas Gordon's entrepreneurial spirit and commitment to quality have ensured that Dr. Enuf remains a symbol of regional pride and business success in East Tennessee. Through innovative marketing, strategic growth, and an unwavering focus on quality, Dr. Enuf has carved out a unique place in the hearts of its consumers and continues to thrive. And whereas Tri-City Beverage has grown as Johnson City has grown and is now more than just a beloved regional brand, it's a legacy. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of the County Commission of Washington County, Tennessee, that we do hereby recognize June 27th, 2024 as Dr. Enuf Day in Washington County, celebrating Dr. Enuf's enduring presence and his significant impact on Tennessee culture and business landscape. Thank you for what you did.
So Representative Hicks talks about loving Dr. Enuf. I can tell you another person who loves Dr. Enuf and who loves the Gordon family. Commissioner Jenny Brock serves on our Visit Johnson City Board of Directors. We meet at lunch. Jenny forgoes the water, forgoes all those other soft drinks and everything else. She always has a Dr. Enuf, always. So we readily make them available to her and to all of our guests who come into our boardroom for meetings. So Commissioner Brock would like to say a few words before you hear the city proclamation.
Thank you, Brenda, and I love the herbal version of it on the golf course when I play golf. I just want to say a few words about the Gordon family. There's one thing that Dr. Enuf and I share in common, and we were both born in the same year. So I've known the Gordon family since we went to high school together. So Chuck and Lou was in my class in 1967. Betsy, thank you for being here. And I've just learned that Mayor Woodby is a niece. So I begin to really think about the Gordon family, the impact that you've had on this area, Johnson City particularly. Particularly after I started my public service, and to think back on the different decades of the development of Johnson City and who had this great impact. And your dad was one that I call part of a small group of men back in the 50s and 60s who really expanded the economic development of Johnson City. Those were the years when we started getting more modern infrastructure. And these are men who started businesses that were the employers of the area. So thank you very much. I really kind of had a second encounter with your father in 2019. Now, we know he had been deceased before that, but in 2019, we celebrated our sesquicentennial celebration, 150 years. Your father was mayor in 1969, and he wrote a letter to the mayor of 2019, and that was me. And so we unveiled the time capsule, and there was a letter in there, and we decided not to open it until we were in public. And so I opened the envelope, there were about 200 people in the room, and I unfolded the letter, and it said, "Dear Sir." But his letter was magnificent because it talked about the accomplishments of the city in that year and with that particular commission. One that was particularly interesting to me is that they reported they had retopped about 23 miles of gravel roads in Johnson City. So I think we had more gravel roads than we had paved roads at that time, but that really started the modernization of us being a city that had these advanced services. So Chuck, I want to give to you a copy of your father's letter. So you can read it and the list of things that he has put on here of what his accomplishments have been. So, and I personally want to thank the Gordon family for everything you have meant to this community. Lots of children, and I think you said when we first came in the door and greeted each other, but the greatest thing you have done is supporting the Salvation Army. And so we thank you so much. You've been a family that has just really had so much impact here, but a very giving family, and thank you. And if you want to come up, I'm going to hand you this letter, and you guys are going to enjoy reading this for sure. Thank you. Thank you.
So to bring official greetings from the city of Johnson City is Vice Mayor Aaron Murphy.
What such great occasion is this, that we could celebrate a wonderful business and a wonderful family. You guys have made a major impact on many lives, and I truly believe Johnson City would not be what it is without you. I do have a proclamation I would like to read. Whereas Charles O. Gordon founded Tip Bottling in 1946, which became Tri-City Beverage Corporation in 1947, marking the beginning of a legacy of innovation and quality in the beverage industry. And whereas in 1949, Tri-City Beverage Corporation introduced Dr. Enuf, the original energy drink, which has since become an enduring symbol of regional pride and entrepreneurial success in East Tennessee. And whereas Dr. Enuf, a family-owned business, such a great family, continues to thrive and reflecting the entrepreneurial spirit and commitment to quality instilled by its founder, Charles O. Gordon, and remains a beloved brand with a significant impact on Tennessee's culture and business landscape. Whereas the celebration of Dr. Enuf's 75th anniversary coincides with Dr. Enuf's night at TVA Credit Union Ballpark, which will be taking place tonight, honoring both the local sports rivalry between Johnson City and the Elizabethan River Riders, and Dr. Enuf's rich history within the community. And whereas this day of recognition celebrates Dr. Enuf's enduring presence and its significant contributions, highlighting the importance of local business and fostering regional pride and economic development. I therefore, Aaron T. Murphy, Vice Mayor of the City of Johnson City, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim June 27, 2024 as Dr. Enuf Day. Thank you.
So, Chuck, would you like to come forward, you and Betsy, and you make a few remarks, please?
Thank you, Brenda and Aaron, and all these wonderful dignitaries here. We're humbled and honored. Thank you, especially Patty. On behalf of the Gordon family and all of the wonderful and loyal employees of Tri-City Beverage, we want to thank everyone for being here, for these wonderful acknowledgements, these proclamations. It's quite an honor. Each of us, every day, we know how important Dr. Enuf is, and we get plenty of emails, Facebooks, all the different ways of social media communications, and we see all the things that people do with Dr. Enuf, from making cakes to cupcakes to jewelry. So we understand, and so we're most appreciative to the thousands, tens of thousands of loyal Dr. Enuf fans throughout the region. And all I can say is how much we appreciate them, and just stay thirsty, my friends. We're going to be around to serve you, Dr. Enuf, for a long time. Thank you.
That concludes our press conference, and again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and making this such a special occasion for the Gordon family and for Dr. Enuf. And speaking of cake, we have a Dr. Enuf cake along with Dr. Enuf's, so we invite you to have cake and drink Dr. Enuf. Thank you.